Christy Clark, meantime, is facing continuing questions about what she knows regarding the BC Rail deal. Newly released information in court documents shows convicted government aide Dave Basi was accepting money from lobbyists shortly after the Liberals came to power in 2001. Also mentioned in the court documents is Christy Clark's brother. The documents allege that Bruce Clark had entered into conversations with Basi about forming a government relations company. But as A News reporter Stephen Andrew shows us now new at 6, the woman who wants to be Premier Clark says the case is closed.
The new information in unsealed search warrants in the BC Rail corruption investigation contains details of thousands of dollars in payments to convicted ministerial aide Dave Basi. Eric Borman of Pilot House Communications began making payments to Basi shortly after the Liberals came to power. The former lobbyist tells police the payments were for Dave Basi's political support and for referring clients. Investigators allege Borman wrote checks to Anil Basi, Dave Basi's cousin. The warrants say Anil Basi deposited the checks to his account at the TD Bank at the West Shore Town Centre and then made similar payments to Dave Basi. Anil Basi was charged with money laundering, but the charges were stayed after his cousin pleaded guilty to breach of trust and accepting bribes. Eric Borman received immunity from prosecution for cooperating with police and moved to Ontario, where he is applying to be a lawyer.
I notified them of the legal situation that Eric Borman was in here in British Columbia. Initially, I was met with what seemed to me to be some skepticism from the Law Society. And then subsequently, I then contacted defense counsel for Bob Verk and had that lawyer contact the Law Society of Upper Canada.
Eric Borman is scheduled to attend a good character hearing before the Law Society. When police raided the BC legislature in 2003, 18 months after the Liberals took power, Christy Clark was deputy premier. The Liberals and Clark have avoided answering questions about the investigation for 7 years on the grounds it was before the courts. The case now over and the new information in the search warrants has the Liberal leadership hopeful facing tough questions from reporters, such as how close was her brother to Dave Basi? The warrants reveal that Eric Borman, Dave Basi and Bruce Clark had at least one conversation about setting up a government relations company.
Those are all documents that were available to the Crown and to the RCMP and to the judge, and 3 people were charged. No one in my family among them, and 2 of them were convicted. To me, it's case closed.
Clark has maintained throughout that while she was in government, she stayed clear of the BC Rail file. In Victoria, Stephen Andrew, A News.